Good evening, everyone. Dr. Low, you have a very good sharing. Thank you to begin the whole seminar. And first of all, I would like to thank you, SITA, and as well as Fashion Summit for this opportunity for me to share how and why INNOTIER has been born and why and what is our mission. So, and welcome Q&A later on too. So, INNOTIER is a brand that we have found about 2.5 years ago to Hong Kong. And our motto is very simple: sustainability and technology to combine at once with fashion together. So how do we create something that have all three pillars? And I'm going to share my secret with you. Our motto, when sustainable lifestyles meets technology. If you notice the motto, there are actually three pillars. Sustainability is there, lifestyle, meaning fashion as well, and also how technology can also combine into it so that we are creating actually a new industry for people to consider. Through what our principles are is our ESG and sustainability. And whatever we do, we also drive a purpose inside. So when people talk about creating a new brand, and you talk about a new brand in pandemic, you of course want to run your business with sustainable profit margin. Let's not talk about margin at this 2.5 years, but then where is our purpose? So that runs in our culture in every of our staff's blood. We were born actually from one of our R&D center in UK, where we had been creating a lot of brainstorming and challenging mindset to our whole group in our manufacturing part. More than the mindset, we have been working with a lot of global partners, including a lot of technologies company, to get their know-how on how to create technology in fashion industry. With an innovation-driven company mindset, our mission is to develop a whole range of what we call solution instead of just product, to promote sustainable lifestyle, and by leveraging the wealth of the experience of our manufacturing experience in our sustainable production. And through our vertical setup, when you have a brand, you have manufacturing, so it's a total vertical setup. And we chose Hong Kong as our headquarters. Part of it is also because I couldn't fly out during the pandemic, so we picked Hong Kong as our headquarters. You need a global mindset and a purpose-driven mindset to truly promote we call human-centric solution. When I focus on human-centric, it's not just about the technology, it's not just about sustainability, but how would human would think that is easy, convenient, and good-looking to them, so that people will not forget about you by watching you through one ad, but more in their lifestyle. So we're combining three pillars all together. First is our mission to have hygiene technology, where we have to really work with a lot of global labs to ensure that our certificate and the proofs are the top in the world. Second, sustainability, the times you can use and how many washes you can prove through all the lab tests. The third is fashionable lifestyle. During pandemic, if all of you have been in Hong Kong and during the time, especially in early 2020, these kind of scenes were everywhere in our newspaper. It was very heartbroken to see all this. Elderly people, normal people, all lined up because of the shortage of masks. But then the problem is, when they have a few disposable masks, does that solve their problem? Does it help them to solve the virus issue? Would that stop them on getting virus? That was one of my very important intention, that back then we decided more than our manufacturing, it's time to bring in our technology. Hopefully we can help the world to be more sustainable, at the same time to have the best technology to protect human beings. Our factory base, it was since 1963. I want to emphasize, I haven't born yet in 1963. It was the first generation, so, but I had an opportunity in 2016 to rebuild the whole global size glove manufacturing industry into a brand new one that has only ESG and sustainability as our foundation. Back then, in 2016, I decided to focus only on this so that we have been promoting by working closely also with Uniqlo. We are currently the biggest manufacturer for Uniqlo for all them gloves, and the remaining brand that you can see on the monitor, as well as all those compliance certificates, etc. In order to promote brand promises, I noticed there are a lot of brands in the market. They would do a lot of beautiful marketing. But where are the brand promises? As Dr. Low just said, where is the trust? So for us to build a new brand, we feel that delivering brand promises is very, very critical. So with our 100% owned manufacturing factories, including in China and in Vietnam, we strongly want to make sure that what we have promised is more than 100% delivery. But then with sustainable fashion, is that enough to build a brand? You talk about pandemic, you talk about technology. What can we do to make a brand more sustainable? If everybody noticed, this is a fact, okay? Average, 54 million of one-off disposable masks is being disposed every week. And what's more horrible is that it takes 450 years to decompose one disposable mask, and we are running around the city with this. So our mission and our challenge is obvious. How can we do something that can at least help a little bit on this angle? So we started to redefine fashion under COVID. On the left-hand side, actually, I've been flying out. I still see people wearing this white gown when they're traveling, but then they might be carrying a Louis Vuitton handbag. They have been striving to protect their health, but then what options do people have? That's why we are creating something on the right-hand side. Because original fashion can no longer be satisfy all our needs under this virus in this new normal. And INNOTIER knows what we can do in order to protect people, not just the antiviral technology, but also, very important, sustainable and together with a fashionable sense in it. Milestone for INNOTIER. We were just born 2 years and 4 months. The first day we were born was July 7th, 2020, and we were very fortunate that with the very initial mission, surprisingly, without paying for the fee, there were 196 global media went viral for the born of INNOTIER to go with the PPE level of technology, fashionable, sustainable solutions in the world. And then we were very lucky that we had a City Super and Lock On to launch all INNOTIER products. And we were very, very fortunate to work with the Mills南豐group and a very, very sustainable family. They were so kind to offer us an opportunity to open our first flagship store in Central. So there we go. We started in 2021 with our own shop, with the online as well. And then we got a call from Disney. They said they have been looking for real sustainable, reusable, all kinds of product solution, especially mask, that they don't want a filter in it. They want something that really is with antiviral function. So we're very fortunate that we passed all the compliance standard, and we had days and nights calls with the Hong Kong and US team to be the first brand to work with Disney with all the antiviral collection, including face mask, reusable. And continuing with our effort, doing a lot of tests is so difficult. So we don't want to settle by just general standard in the market. We finally found, together with our US partner, a lab in the US to actually test the COVID-19. No simulation, it's actually CARS-CoV-2. To find a lab like this is the most difficult because nobody want to risk their life by testing this kind of horrible virus in their lab. And the second challenge is that if you notice a lot of lab tests, most of the tests are doing 24-hour tests. It means that when there's certain material sitting in there, they time the clock by 24 hours, they would see the before and after, whether the virus or bacteria is still there. In order to have lab tests to help you to reduce the time to prove that the material is still very strong with the shortest time, you actually need a lot of help from the lab to actually have the proper equipment. sadly, not a lot of lab would have all this equipment. So we found in the world, and finally we found a lab in Florida who's willing to start that lab test with us, and we were able to achieve the first ever breaking news in the world that on contact rate means less than 1 second. COVID-19 killed 99%, and it's a permanent solution. And this is what I'm wearing. INNOTIER was very fortunate, and we are being awarded the Hong Kong Star Brand Award. We didn't have a lot of marketing budget because all our expenses were focused on R&D and resources and development. So in order to do promotion, we don't call it marketing, we call it actually education. We focus on applying awards to hopefully compete so that that would be considered as the lowest cost of resources to do education promotion. Very fortunate, we were lucky that we won the Hong Kong Star Brand Award. And then Hello Kitty called us. They said, hey, would you like Hello Kitty to help you to do promotion? Of course. So we decided to work on another IP other than Disney. And then United Nations member one day came to our shop, and at first we were thinking they must be competitive because they were asking for all the lab tests, and we gave them all. And then we realized that they were actually the scientists at the United Nations as part of their members. So they actually have decided to place order with INNOTIER. We were also granted by UNESCO, the CSDC, named Certified Sustainable Development Corporate at the 10th University as the corporate to work with them on the retail level to really push a lot of consumable product so that we can offer solution for anyone to do that small step for our health and also for our planet. And in 2022, April 22nd, the Earth Day, we have launched a campaign called Design a Better Future that we would like to invite anyone, any age, any industry, any gender, to propose and to design your own mask. And even one mask, of course you have to pay a small fee, but we would do every single mask back to you. Our focus is just one thing. When you create your own mask, you probably would wear it, right? So we hope that with your own beautiful mask, you would not consume so many one-time disposable products. That's all we hope. We were targeting 1% of Hong Kong population, and this program is still on, so I hope you guys can, when you have time, to take a look. We want to go green with the whole Hong Kong, and then eventually we want to go green with the whole world together. And we had a CMA, also the lab test, to help us to calculate the carbon footprint being saved by doing this action together with the figures. And then we also worked very closely with Italian General Consulate, and they were one of the first European country to truly want to promote sustainable solution in their community. Link Crawford then called us, and then we became the best-selling brand in Link Crawford. And we were very, very fortunate because with retail brand, sustainable fashion brand to be able to cope with us, we can have better distribution. And then in 2022 August, we were very lucky that we've been picked by New York Times. New York Times is very, very keen on number 13 of SDG goals, climate change. They want sustainable solution to be posted in their magazine. So again, we get free advertisement through their APAC magazine, and we just really hope to have more channels to help to tell people that there are small things we can do to help this planet. And very, very important, at the HKTDC Center Stage 2022, we were very, very lucky as a young brand being invited as one of the designers brand to showcase that. The show was phenomenal, and whenever you guys would have time in the coming year, must go. It's a must-go thing. Not only there are many different designers were there, but there are a lot of exchanges and collaboration you can create there. And in 2022, we were also invited by Hong Kong Cultural Festival at the Tai Kwun in Central to showcase a lot of solutions through technology, how INNOTIER can bring intangible cultural heritage into our next generation. So INNOTIER has got a few technologies. Not only we have fabric, but we also have this UVC technology that we have granted by SGS as Performance Test Smart. I want to tell you, as a manufacturing background, to claim something, you got to be very careful, because if you don't have safety, I suggest you not to do it. People nowadays with social media, they would challenge you. So for us to go through all these steps with SGS as a performance test mark, a small bag like what I'm having on my mind on here, a small bag like this, it went through material-wise 360 different kind of material. But then after all these tests, you know that what you're offering to the consumer is really the best and very safe to them. So I think this is one of the sharing that I would like to share in case you're a startup, in case you're you have some innovation. I mean, do consult with the free team, and you would get a lot from them before you commit to do a long-term test. And Ionic is the partner that we use in terms of how we achieve our permanent solution of antiviral materials. What we do is so different from nano. Nano, you can do coating. For example, if you have a bucket of nano particle size of silver, gold, or copper, or zinc, those are all having the antiviral function when it interacts with moist. But then we don't want to go with coating, because my manufacturing background taught us that if you want a permanent solution, you want something to be woven in. Means you cannot let it go, let it out. Therefore, it creates a permanent solution there. So what we do is, this is our 25 years manufacturer who used to sell me the medical part of antiviral, actually pure silver 995 silver yarn, and we decided to bring them over and to weave it into our patent formula and to achieve what I just shared with you, the on-contact antiviral 99% COVID fabric. Okay. So during the 2.5 years, we were granted 4 patents. One is the UVC system, and the other 3 are all about fabric, including recycled fabric by GRS. Our purpose is very simple. We hope that during the education, if we can provide some solution that is wanted by the end user, we hope that we can make them an option not to just purchase the one-time disposable materials like masks. So our 4 key hero products have been luckily being well recognized in the market. But more than that is when we travel, how can we protect travelers? A lot of people actually come and say that, hey, Juliana, are you going to stop your business when pandemic is finished? And how are you going to survive? Well, everything is about antiviral, antimicrobial. I answer like the below. Before 2019, do we notice that when we are traveling, that whether the traveling environment, including in the aircraft, is how we want in terms of hygiene? Did we back then also seek for solution that is a hygienic solution where you bring your own blanket, or when you go to the washroom like this, you want to kind of hold your breath? So we feel that during traveling time is where we really need a lot of solutions. So we focus on solution, human-centric ideas. When you travel, how can we protect you even the environment is not as hygienic? We also provide some accessories, including gloves, the UVC bag, and that denim shirt is also by antiviral material. And that's my son, Julian. Yeah, we use all these people so that we save the marketing budget. Recently, we've been launching our beddings, and it's been very lucky and very welcomed. If you want to touch our beddings later, I actually brought with me some samples. So we want to melt people's heart by making them don't want to leave their bed, basically. That's the comfiness, but at the same time, we have successfully launched cotton as well into our Ionic silver, so that you can just basically handle it very easily, and basically it's worry-free. Yep, that's the mask that I was talking about. Working with CMA, we have been doing some data, and we have accumulated our first 1.5 years of our mask selling and interpret into the ESG goals the data. Comparing to if you compare to one-time disposable mask, that if using our mask is replaceable for at least 200 of the one-time disposable mask, as the most conservative figure, accumulatively, we have saved over what's that called? Okay, this is a huge figures on the carbon emission. Compared to one-time disposable mask, one of the reusable masks is able to save 91.37 carbon emission. Joint force, there are so many things we can do. These are just some of our apparel. And we also offer a lot of travel kit solution so that people can be worry-free. And these are some of the collaborative licensing companies that we've been working with. We have just launched our new line with the Fila in China. They will be using all our INNOTIER fabric and to bring hygiene sportswear into China. And these are some of the Link Profit shows. That's the ladies' version. And last but not least, that's the Fashion Summit.
Taking place inside.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
So that's the very highlight of Fashion Summit, and I strongly encouraging you to participate next year. And that's the New York Times that I mentioned about, and that's the cultural heritage moments, and basically that's it. So I hope if you have any question, do join me and join my hands together to go with this to build impact together in this challenging time. Now I'm sharing you a lot of glam moments, happy moments, but behind the scene, I tell you, we don't get off until 11 p.m. every night. Saturday, Sunday, same thing. When you know that your business is with purpose, when you know that you're aligned with the globe, when aligned with your health, I think there's so much passion that we can drive among yourself and with your team. And this is who we are. So we look forward to collaborate with more people, different industry, and anytime, any question is also welcome. Thank you, everyone.